For those who feel enough is not enough and failure is not an option, for those, there is Gamma Labs PTF, the next generation pre-workout supplement. Our guest on the show today, Jake Ellenberger. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, main event against Martin Kampmann, Ultimate Fighter finale over at the Pearl Inside the Palms. It's live on FX. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, I mean, this is a time where it seems like, just from what I've been reading and seeing in interviews with you, that you're getting pretty aggressive with your stance on where you are in the welterweight division and saying, look, if I win this one, it's my time. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's for me, I'm always focusing on one fight at a time, but, you know, we're getting to that, level where it's don't want to waste my time, and, you know, really the only reason why, you know, I'm competing is to become world champ, and, you know, that's where I got my sights set, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at your record, it speaks for itself. I mean, 6 wins in a row. You had that one loss to Carlos Condit back in 2009, but then you put together a solid 4 wins before that. So, I mean, we're talking about 10 out of your last 11 fights. You could certainly make a case. The welterweight division, though, is kind of cloudy in the sense that George St. Pierre, of course, is injured, and Carlos Condit says he's waiting for him. You know, if you're talking about potentially waiting for a title shot, you could be looking at sometime next year. Is that something that you're comfortable doing if they guarantee it to you, or would you be willing to take one more fight in between now and a title shot?
No, you know, I'm really not one to sit down. I don't feel like taking time off, especially right now. You know, I only have a few years that I'm looking to compete, and you know, I don't really like the idea of possibly sitting out for 6 months to a year. So, not necessarily. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, I gotta really just focusing on Friday night and Martin Kampmann.
Do you think people give you a lot of guff because of what happened in the final moments of that fight against Diego Sanchez? Because it just seems like, you know, I'm hearing things like, oh, I don't know if Jake Ellenberger can go 5 rounds, which I've never had that impression before. How much of that are you dealing with right now?
Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of speculation and stuff like that, but it hasn't bothered me at all. You know, I haven't let it affect me the way I train, the way I'm going to fight. So, you know, 3 rounds, 5 rounds, it's not going to change the way I fight. You know, my style, I really look to try to finish fights, and, you know, I'm not going to try to outpoint guys in one decision. That's never really been me. So, you know, it's not going to change the way I fight, but, you know, people that realize if you're working hard and you're trying to finish fights, you're going to get tired. That's normal. I mean, you know, the few things you can guarantee going into a fight is you're going to get tired and you're probably going to get hit. So, I mean, I was, you know, definitely working hard to finish Diego. He's one of the toughest guys in the sport. So, you know, I just continue to train hard and keep growing as a fighter. But, yeah, I don't let anything like that really sidetrack me at all.
Let's break down Martin Kampmann for a second. I mean, we've seen him submit guys. We've seen him, obviously, as a very good striker in the UFC's welterweight division for a long time now. But looking at where his skill set is today, where do you think that your biggest advantage will be?
Well, you know, I mean, he's pretty well-rounded. I don't see a lot of hope in his game, but, I mean, I'm really just focused on what I can do in my game plan and his strategy. So, I don't see any huge advantages anywhere, but, you know, for me to keep pressure on him and find holes to make him have to make a mistake, you know, it's where I'm really looking to capitalize.
Do you see one particular area as his greatest strength? Because I talked to Martin earlier today, and he said that assessing your game, your heavy hands, you know, I mean, that's something that he's really kind of pointed out that you like to get in there and slug it out. But do you see one thing in his game that really stands out as an asset?
I mean, he's long, he's got a good range, and he's got a good submissions. So I mean, that's just somewhere, you know, I guess someday I can't get complacent with. Really, you know, I got to fight smart and really, you know, really impose my strategy. So, yeah, you know, he's well-rounded, he's good everywhere. So that's the way I see it.
Some news that just came down today that I thought was pretty interesting. UFC 147, which is coming up in a few weeks, June 23rd down in Brazil, has a new main event. Rematch, Vanderlei Silva and Rich Franklin. As a fan of the UFC, do you like that matchup?
Yeah, definitely. That's actually the first time I heard about that. But you know, I'm a fan of both guys. I really am. I've trained quite a bit with Vanderlei. And we share a common coach in Rafael Cordero, and you know, I'm excited as a fan. It'll be a fun fight to watch.
And what do you think about the main event of UFC 148, which is going to be here in Vegas as well, just like your fight is this Friday night? We have Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva that are going at it for the UFC middleweight belts. Do you think that Chael's going to be able to do the same sort of thing that he did in the first fight against Anderson?
So I think he could, definitely. I absolutely think he could, but it's going to be a little harder. I think Anderson knows what he's going to do, and he knows his game. So anytime you fight somebody again, it's they have a good idea of what you're going to do and what you're good at. So I mean, could I see Chael winning that fight? Absolutely, I could, but that's going to be a tough one to call.
All right, Jake Ellenberger, Martin Kampmann, main event, Ultimate Fighter Live finale happening this Friday over at the Pearl Inside the Palms. It's going to be on FX. Thanks for your time, man. Great to talk to you, and we'll see you Friday night.
Sounds good. Thank you.
For those who feel enough is not enough and failure is not an option. For those, there's Gamma Labs Pre-Training Formula, the next generation pre-workout supplement, a human enhancement formula designed to build a superior athlete. More power, more speed, more endurance, more mental focus, more of you.